Well, it seems that Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez already have some relationship hater $37 million divorce.
Well,
Billion,
honey. Put some respect on that.
You and your fiance, Jeff Bezos.
Who? Picture this. A $5 million wedding in Venice, luxury at every turn, champagne towers, helicopters circling above, and a list of celebrities raising their glasses to the most talked about couple on the planet.
It goes on and on about this woman who, let's face it, this relationship began in an extramarital affair. They were both cheating on their spouses, but now they're getting the Vogue treatment to where we're supposed to believe it's the grand love affair. And they point out about how out on the yacht, she's wearing her crop top, partying with Leonardo DiCaprio and Queen Rania of Jordan. And when questioned about how this isn't very green of them to have the yacht everywhere and the private jets, Sanchez is undone.
The world watched closely as Jeff Bezos, the billionaire founder of Amazon, and Lauren Sanchez, the high-profile media figure, shared a romantic kiss along the Amalfi Coast, an image that quickly captured global attention.
We mentioned Lauren Sanchez. She posted, or no, she didn't post. She was in the tabloids for this picture of Jeff Bezos smacking her thong-wearing bottom on their yacht. This is, I submit to you, a total setup.
Their relationship was hailed as the ultimate fairy tale, and opulent romance featured in headlines and trending across social media platforms.
It's a very challenging thing to try and estimate. So I think you just have to try and be reasonable about it, take as much risk off the table as you can for yourself. You know, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
But what if this wasn't a classic love story at all? What if, beneath the glittering surface, it was a carefully crafted strategy, a calculated move in a high-stakes game of influence and power? This is the deeper story of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, a complex tale involving betrayal, legal battles, and a $5 billion controversy that threatens everything they've built. Stay tuned. This is no ordinary relationship
Wild
breakdown.
ride.
Well, look at what she's done and how she's led her life.
And, you know, it's a $10 billion commitment, and it's really, you know, support.
Let's rewind to August 2023. Buzz surrounded the announcement of Bezos and Sanchez's engagement, made aboard a yacht so lavish it resembled a floating estate, with guests like Kris Jenner, Bill Gates, and Oprah Winfrey in attendance.
Sanchez's, one of her former friends does not think that Jeff Bezos should propose to her because she thinks that he would be a fool because Lauren Sanchez has had some very turbulent love relationships.
I know, y'all.
right? That's why he likes her.
Right.
Well, I know, but so here's the thing. She's been proposed to, or she's been engaged 4 times.
That means she got that good. Yes.
The engagement ring, a diamond of such size and clarity, it could be spotted from space-dominated headlines. Media outlets called it the definitive billionaire romance. Lauren Sanchez, once a news anchor and now a media executive, had transitioned from covering major events to becoming one herself, publicly seen alongside one of the world's wealthiest individuals. But take a step back. The proposal was first celebrated publicly among high-profile friends on a luxurious yacht, and later marked again at a more private gathering with Oprah and Rob Pattinson.
No, but wish them both well. They both released statements about the end of their marriage. They're both very kind and gracious to one another. And I think divorce, no matter what the circumstances, I think are always very painful. So the fact that they can walk away, and really only the two of them really know. All this chatter, all these people don't know really.
This wasn't a fairy tale romance from the beginning. Jeff and Lauren's relationship began under controversial circumstances, an extramarital affair that disrupted both their previous marriages. Jeff's separation from Mackenzie Scott resulted in a staggering $35 billion settlement, ranking among the most costly divorces in history. Lauren also ended her marriage to Hollywood agent Patrick Whitesell, enduring intense tabloid attention and public backlash. Still, the couple pressed forward, rebranding themselves as a formidable duo. Appearances in Vogue, red carpet events, and lavish yacht outings with figures like Leonardo DiCaprio and Queen Rania of Jordan projected an image of high society elegance. Yet, beneath the polished exterior and curated social media moments, signs of strain had already begun to surface.
Well, look at what she's done and how she's led her life.
So, you think this divorce settlement is fair?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. A marriage is a partnership. See, Bezos spent 25 years helping her husband grow his business and grow his swagger. I mean, look at that. He went from pleated pants salesman to jacked up arms dealer, am I right? Yeah, it's totally fair. Look, but that chapter is now closed, okay? It's over now, and this next phase is crucial.
The Venice wedding that broke the internet fist forward to Venice, 2005, city known for its charm, transformed into a luxurious backdrop for one of the most extravagant weddings the world had ever seen. The event was nothing short of opulent. $5 million in floral arrangements, custom-made designer gowns, and a guest list filled with the biggest names in business and entertainment, many of whom populate the Forbes 400. Paparazzi crowded the streets, documenting every detail from Lauren's glowing smile to Jeff's composed demeanor, all set against the iconic Grand Canal. Champagne glasses clinked, and within minutes, hashtags like hashtag Bezos wedding and hashtag $1 billion love were trending worldwide. The fascination was global, but here's where the narrative takes a sharp turn. While the public swooned over the spectacle, Jeff Bezos was quietly setting things in motion behind the scenes. According to a confidential source close to the couple, this wasn't merely a wedding, it was a strategic operation. Bezos' legal team was on high alert. Non-disclosure agreements were being rapidly signed, and discreet meetings were taking place in secluded corners of Venetian villas. Why all the secrecy? Because Jeff Bezos, the architect of Amazon, is not a man who leaves anything to chance, especially when billions are on the line. Let's turn to the prenup. In the world of billionaires, marriages come with paperwork, and Jeff had no intention of repeating past mistakes. After a costly $35 billion divorce from Mackenzie Scott, Jeff ensured this agreement was thorough, calculated, and legally airtight. This wasn't just about financial protection, it was about maintaining control, protecting his image, and preserving his legacy. Every aspect of their public and private lives was mapped out in meticulous detail. But here's the twist: Lauren didn't fully understand what she was walking into. To her, the prenup seemed like standard procedure, a small hurdle on the path to what she privately referred to as a $10 billion commitment. She believed she was entering a secure, lasting partnership. But Jeff saw things through a different lens. For him, Lauren wasn't just a spouse, she was a variable in a high-stakes equation. And when that variable became unstable, he was quick to respond. The tension didn't wait until after the honeymoon. According to sources, cracks began forming before the vows were even exchanged. Lauren was keen to capitalize on her new status. She was exploring media ventures, approving high-profile photo shoots, and pursuing brand deals with urgency. In her eyes, this was her opportunity to step into her own spotlight and build a legacy independent of Jeff's. But Jeff viewed this as risky behavior. Each move Lauren made was scrutinized, not just as a public figure, but as a possible threat to the Bezos brand. This marriage wasn't just to Lauren Sanchez, it was to her ambition, her network, and her public history. And it was the past that soon re-emerged. Just 2 days after the wedding, the picture-perfect image began to fade. While public attention moved on, inside Jeff's estate, tensions escalated. A heated dispute broke out when Lauren expressed her desire to give a solo interview to a major media outlet. She saw it as her moment to establish herself. Jeff, however, disagreed, calling it thirsty and ill-timed. Lauren pushed back, accusing him of suppressing her voice and reducing her to nothing more than a figurehead. What followed was a chilling exchange. Jeff responded, "You married me, not the brand." That remark hit hard and marked a turning point. This wasn't a simple disagreement. It was a full-scale power clash. Lauren wanted agency under the Bezos name. Jeff demanded structure and discretion. Their expectations were fundamentally at odds. And when Bezos identifies a risk, he doesn't wait, he acts. To understand Jeff's mindset, we need to revisit 2019. That year, the National Enquirer released intimate text messages between Jeff and Lauren, revealing their affair while both were still married. The scandal was damaging, one that could have seriously impacted Bezos' public image and professional reputation. Jeff believed the leak came from someone close, Michael Sanchez, Lauren's own brother. Once a trusted insider, Michael was suspected of feeding those messages to the tabloids. The betrayal was personal and public, and Jeff made it clear anyone linked to that scandal would be permanently cut off. No second chances, no exceptions. The $5 billion blew up when Jeff found out Lauren had been secretly communicating with her brother Michael in the months leading up to the wedding. It ignited an already volatile situation. Sources close to the couple say the conversations were harmless, mostly related to family matters. But for Jeff, the content didn't matter. The very act of reconnecting with Michael, the same person he blamed for leaking private messages in 2019, was a breach of trust. More critically, it violated the confidentiality clause in their prenuptial agreement. In Jeff's world, there are no gray areas. You're either fully in or firmly out. And Lauren had just stepped over the line, enter the lawsuit real, active, and carrying a jaw-dropping $5 billion price tag. This isn't speculation. Jeff's elite legal team, known for navigating high-stakes, high-profile litigation, has been working non-stop. But this suit isn't about reclaiming money. Jeff doesn't need it. It's about sending a message: you don't challenge the Bezos structure without consequence. The amount, not arbitrary. It's a calculated figure based on reputational damage, alleged breaches of the prenup, and what Jeff sees as a betrayal that threatens his long-term legacy. The legal filings are sealed, handled with utmost discretion. But if they ever surface publicly, the fallout won't be limited to Lauren's personal life. It could unravel her media career, endorsements, and public persona in an instant. Jeff isn't merely suing, he's scrubbing her from the narrative. But what truly pushed him to this extreme wasn't just the reconnection with Michael Sanchez. It was a pattern of behavior. Lauren's pursuit of media relevance, her resistance to Jeff's boundaries, and her belief that she could navigate his world on her own terms, these compounded over time. She underestimated how far Jeff would go to maintain control. When the lawsuit reached her, Lauren didn't turn to attorneys or issue statements. She went straight to Jeff alone in his office. No publicists, no advisors. Just her trying to salvage the life she thought they were building. "You're going to ruin me," she reportedly told him. "You're going to ruin both of us." And she wasn't wrong. The case, if made public, could cause irreparable harm to both of their legacies. Jeff didn't argue. According to the insider, he simply listened, letting her speak uninterrupted. Then, with finality, he said, "This isn't about us anymore. It's about principle." The message was clear, the decision was made. No plea, no promise was going to change it. Lauren left that room shaken not just by the breakdown of their relationship, but by the realization that Jeff would do whatever it took to protect his empire, while Lauren scrambled to hold on to her public image. Jeff's response was swift and calculated. His estate was in full lockdown mode. Advisors began reorganizing trusts, transferring assets, and removing names from key documents. This wasn't chaos, it was a carefully executed strategy. His legal and media teams weren't just reacting, they were getting ahead. If Lauren tried to go public with her side of the story, Jeff was ready with receipts, private messages, call logs, images, evidence she never thought would surface. If she tried to take control of the narrative, he was prepared to dismantle it piece by piece. Lauren, in crisis mode, contacted top PR firms in hopes of softening the blow and telling her version of events. But it was too late. She wasn't just up against a billionaire, she was facing a tactician. Jeff didn't just build Amazon. He built systems to predict, control, and outmaneuver. Lauren, in his view, had become another variable he had already planned for. Meanwhile, the public remained enchanted, still reposting wedding photos, admiring their seemingly perfect life. They didn't see the NDAs, the sealed court filings, or the midnight meetings. They didn't hear the behind closed doors arguments or Lauren's private appeals to reshape her story. What they saw was a fantasy. But this wasn't a romance anymore. It was a controlled dismantling. Jeff Bezos wasn't acting out of spite. He was protecting what he built: his wealth, his image, and his legacy. And when someone threatens that foundation, he doesn't hesitate. For now, the lawsuit remains sealed. But secrets rarely stay buried. If this goes public, it won't just be tabloid fodder, it will become the headline of the decade. A legal showdown that redefines two high-profile lives. Lauren, struggling to defend her name, faces an uphill battle. Jeff, meanwhile, continues to shape the narrative with precision. He isn't just safeguarding his fortune, he's defending his story, his legacy, and his place in history. And in Jeff's world, once you're written out, there is no comeback chapter. But it raises a deeper question. Was Lauren ever truly in control? Did she enter this marriage thinking she could navigate Bezos' universe, only to realize she was always playing a game she didn't fully understand? Or was this part of Jeff's design all along: give her the spotlight, then take it away when it no longer served him? One thing's clear, this story is far from over. The legal battle is just beginning, and the fallout may reshape the power dynamics of billionaire relationships as we know them. So, what do you think? Was Lauren Sanchez outmaneuvered by Jeff Bezos, or did her own choices lead to this unraveling? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's discuss.